Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you the basics to a game called War Thunder. I know it's pretty old and everything, but I felt like making a video about it. So first of all, I just want to be completely concise and clear on what the video is going to be about. It's going to be about what this is, this home screen, the most important parts of it, how to research planes, and how to research plane modifications, and then the basics to actually playing the game. The main stuff you're going to want to know is, first of all, what this is, and what this is. These are golden eagles. They're premium currency. It's basically what you use to buy special things. For example, special planes that can only be gotten with, golden eagles. You can also recruit a crew after you spend a bunch of normal money, which is this, silver lions. But you won't really need it. And you can use these silver eagles to trade into research and silver lions. And when I say that, I mean to speed up research. I'll show you right now. I'm researching this thing called the P-51. It's an American plane. You can press boost research, and with these golden eagles, you can add a certain amount of experience which you earn from playing games and completing challenges. But I'm not going to do that because it's a complete and total waste. I suggest you don't do that either. You can get silver lions from playing the game, completing missions, the same as research, which are those light bulb things which you use to research planes and modifications. And then there's this, which is active and inactive items. For example, this right here is a booster. You can get silver lion or research boosters. This is a 15% research booster, which means that every time I play a game and hypothetically, I get 100 research, I would get an extra 15%, which is 15 research. Now this only lasts for a certain amount of time, and if you don't use it, expires after, in this case, 3 days, and you can only use for 10 missions. So I'm going to press activate, and now it's working. This stuff is more complicated. You're going to get into it later, and this stuff you actually have to pay for. I didn't buy these. I got them from completing challenges, but you need keys to consume them, which costs money. You can get stuff like skins, which doesn't actually help you win in the game. Then there's the shop here where you can buy a premium account, golden eagles, lions, so on and so forth. You won't need this too much, unless of course you want to pay to do stuff. Now this is the research column. This is where you get actual planes. You're going to start off choosing a country, USA, Germany, the USSR, because you're using older planes. Technically that was, then. Great Britain, Japan, China, Italy, France, and Sweden. I personally use American planes because it's advantageous. Not because it's like one above all. It's just I'm better with American planes, such as the P series, P-51s, P-38s, 39s, and so on. I like them. And eventually I'll get to this thing called the F-4E Phantom II. This plane is insane. It can go, I've tested it out, it can go to like 1,000 miles an hour, shoots at an extremely high rate. Absolutely insane. And just so you guys know, this is only for air battles. There's also Army, which is with tanks. For example, this tank, the M4A1, and then there's Fleet, which is with naval ships. I haven't played this much, but I'm just going to be covering aviation in this video. That is pretty much all you need to know. This stuff you'll learn later on. You can complete tutorial missions and single missions just to get a feel of the game before you go into multiplayer. There are different kinds of multiplayer games. There is air arcade battles, which is in third person or first person if you want, and you spawn in the air. There are also air realistic battles where you're only in first person. Everything's a lot more sensitive, and it's basically just harder in every way possible. And you have to take off from the ground. And there's simulator battles, which is with planes and tanks. And then there's Assault Air Arcade and Assault Grand Arcade, which is where you're defending and then you have to defend against waves of incoming enemies. Tanks are a lot easier than planes in this version. Then there's this stuff, which is a lot more complicated. You're not going to want to bother with that yet. So to get into a game, you're going to want to press to battle. Then you'll get into this queue here. It normally doesn't take too long. I already found one. We'll get in pretty quick. So you can see here that the mission objective is to capture and keep the advantages, which are airfields. Now you can choose here from a bunch of planes that you researched. I'm going to choose the A-36 Apache. Now I recently just thought it might be fun to plug in my controller and use that instead of the mouse and keyboard. But before I use that, I'm going to talk to you guys. Oh, game volume's too loud. I'm going to turn that down a little. I'm going to talk to you guys about what the controls are. Basically use your mouse to go up, down, left, and right. You can invert the flight controls if you want. R2 to aim, you click it and then it toggles. L1 to shoot. You can press V to go into the different modes like first person and whatever this is, and then third person. You can press A and D to do rolls, W to increase your speed, S to lower your speed. When I say speed, I mean thrust. And with certain planes you can turn on air brakes, and other planes you can use bombs and so on. But I'll show you guys that later, because this plane doesn't actually have bombs. If you get shot a certain amount of times, your plane gets too damaged and you're gonna die. Sometimes it explodes, sometimes your engine breaks so you leave after 15 seconds. Your plane burns out. That's too bad. Wait. Gonna plug in my controller. It doesn't seem to be working. So like a plane. I'll show you guys how to modify your planes later on. Yeah, but my controller isn't working for some reason, so I'm just gonna use mouse and keyboard. Now, this is a very important part. When you look at a plane, if it gets into a certain range, there's going to be a circle in front of it, which means you have to shoot at that part to hit it. Because, as you know, bullets only move at a certain speed, and planes move at a certain speed. So if you shoot at where they currently are, you're going to miss, because they'll move in front of the bullets. So what you have to do is shoot at where they're going to be. Let me just invert flight controls. I'm used to that. You can invert flight controls or whatever you want in the settings by going through here. Flight controls is probably in main. Let's see here. Air battle settings. Battle settings, I can't find it. What's with this? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I can do that after the video, it's not a big deal. Now what you're going to want to do to make it easier to blow people up is you're going to want to go behind them, or as close to behind them as you can. Because if you're at a 90-degree angle, then they'll just move faster, and you can turn and out. Or if you're going straight at them, you might actually crash into them. That's happened to me plenty of times. There we go, got him. And obviously the more people you kill, the more points you get, the more objectives you capture, the more points you get, so on and so forth. Now I'm basically just going to finish this round or game, and then I'm going to show you what happens after, because it's important that you know what to do with the rewards. It's a pretty fun game. You can actually run out of bullets too. You don't permanently run out, but it's gonna take maybe 30 seconds to reload. You can upgrade your crew's abilities to shorten that amount of time. I'll show you right now. I'll run out of bullets soon. Yeah, I hit him. It's too bad. Once this happens, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna die for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys a bombing plane now. This right here, the TBF-1C. It's not a heavy bomber, it's just a plane with the gun and a couple bombs. You can upgrade your bombs later on. But in a bomber plane, you can press V 2 or 3 times, and then you look at this. This is meant for bombing giant targets like airfields. And the way you actually release a bomb is by pressing spacebar. And if you hold spacebar, you can watch what happens with the bomb until it hits the ground. Which is pretty cool, so I'm going to show you guys. Unless the round ends first, which it might. Pretty cool. Anyway, if you're over a kilometer away, there's no point in shooting because there's a good chance you're not going to hit him. Extremely high chance you're not going to hit him. This plane isn't really meant for fighting, it's meant for blowing up targets. So I suggest that if you get one of these, you don't use it for dogfights. My plane actually has a gunner behind him, which helps. So you can actually switch to it, but then no one's controlling the plane, so you can't be in there for too long. Alright, we lost. Not a big deal. You're gonna lose eventually. I mean, you can't win every single time. This, like I said before, is research. There's modification research and vehicle research. These are two very different things that you should know about. Vehicle research is the stuff that actually goes into getting new planes and tanks and ships. Modification research is the stuff that goes into modifying those planes and tanks and ships. For example, I completed a research thing. So this plane, the TBF-1C, I just researched a new compressor. So I'm going to purchase that for 500 silver lines. And then I'm going to start researching a new thing. So I can research, in this case, torpedoes, offensive armaments, an engine, or wing repair. There are certain tiers of modification research, which means you have to get a certain amount of modifications in tier 1 then you can go to tier 2, and a certain amount there, then you can go to tier 3 and so on. But right now, I'm going to research new guns. That's pretty much all there is for War Thunder. You can obviously get into more detail as you learn new things, but I covered the basics. And to be clear, when you research a plane, let's say I get 17,000 research and I unlock the P-51, I'm going to have to spend a certain amount of money actually buying that plane. And when I say money, I mean silver lines, because nothing's free. Yeah, that's it. Bunch of different planes. Alright, well, thanks for watching. That's all there is to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed and have fun. So, yeah, bye.